Hi, this is our OB10 conflict and negotiation. My name is Mercedes Nevins,
I'm Megan Beyer.
I'm Michael Meade.
and here's our presentation.
Okay, I'm going to start this off by explaining the differences between substantive conflict and emotional conflict. Substantive conflict is over the issue and the content of the conflict. It's when the fundamental disagreement over ends or goals to be pursued and the means for their accomplishment is the thing that they're arguing about. Emotional conflict involves interpersonal difficulties that arise over feelings of anger, mistrust, dislike, fear, resentment, and the like. This conflict is commonly known as cautious personalities. This is when emotional conflict can happen in high stress situations. A situation where I was engaged in substantive conflict with someone else was when I was working at a restaurant and I disagreed with my manager over how many servers need to be on a party of 25. She believed 3 and I believed 4, and I believed that 4 servers would make the guest services be most efficient. A situation where I was engaged in emotional conflict with someone else was when I was in conflict with my husband and he told me to take a long road trip with my in-laws without him. I predicted this would be an unpleasant experience because of the clash of personalities in a small combined vehicle for hours. A situation where a substantive conflict developed into emotional conflict was like my first example of the substantive conflict with my manager. This developed into an emotional conflict when the servers were overworked and because we were short-staffed, and there was resentment towards the manager.
All right, I'm gonna talk about the 3 interpersonal conflict. So the first one is what type of interpersonal conflict occurs when a person must choose between 2 positive, equally attractive alternatives. This is called the approach. An example is when you can either go to your favorite restaurant that you always go to, or you can go to a new restaurant that you've always wanted to go to, but is usually booked up. You still equally get the best food that you like, but 2 different restaurants that you have to pick from. When you must choose between 2 negative and equally unattractive alternatives, this conflict is called avoidance. An example of this is either you could spend your whole day at the DMV or you won't be able to drive because you don't have a valid driver's license. The third interpersonal conflict occurs when a person must decide something that has both positive and negative consequences. This conflict is called approach avoidance. An example of this is you decide to go across the country to your dream school or your dream job, but you must leave behind family and friends, possibly ruin certain relationships.
So I will be talking about what the most ideal approach would be. In all situations, the most ideal approach would be collaborative and problem solving. The thing about this form of direct conflict is that you would need to be in the correct situation for this to occur. So collaborative and problem solving is a win-win. Basically, the person would have enough time to figure out a solution that everyone becomes happy from it. There's not always a solution that can do so. So it's kind of the most ideal approach, but not always the most likely. Which results in a negotiated agreement. Compromise results in a negotiated agreement. It's called a lose-lose situation because no one got exactly what they wanted, but they came to a compromise. In a situation where someone should directly avoid conflict is when there's nothing worth fighting for. So if you're not going to gain anything from the conflict that you're in, you should leave it be, allow the person to win, compromise, anything, unless there's something that you need to either get your point across to or to be able to get the job done. And then the 5 direct conflict management approaches. So the one that I was talking about in the last slide, which is collaborative and problem solving, is the win-win, which is the last point on the slide here. That's someone who takes time to figure it out, as I said before. Accommodating or soothing is someone saying, I'm busy, I'll get to it. This is basically a lose-lose situation. Person A is asking person B to do something, and person B is soothing person A by saying, don't worry, I'll get to it when I can, but it's definitely not soothing person A because you don't know exactly when it's going to get done, and leaves them kind of stressed and anxiety ridden. Avoidance is when someone completely just avoids the situation. This is a lose-lose situation. Nothing gets done, nothing gets helped. The person avoids the work and the work doesn't get done. A competition and authoritative command is basically if a boss were to say, I don't care about what any of you think, this approach best helps me, and this is what we're going to do, and you're all going to listen to me because I'm the boss. So this is a win-lose situation because sometimes it can be a good thing for the boss and bad for everyone else, sadly. Compromise, when both people fold and no one truly gets what they want. A lose-lose situation because no one truly gets what they want, so both sides are folding a little bit. And collaborative, which we already went over. Here are our references. Thank you for watching.